Hump day, wellness day, whatever you want, it's Wednesday. Good morning.
It's sunny.
It is. It's so nice.
Sunny and lovely.
Yes, and we want to say a huge thank you to start off the show this morning to KC Security, who's sponsoring the morning show with Luann and Tim all month long. We certainly appreciate it, you guys.
It's composting day.
Okay. Have you ever composted?
Okay. No. But my mother composted.
Oh.
So indirectly I did, because
It's very complicated.
it isn't.
No?
No. It's just all you do. She kept a little thing under her sink.
Yes.
And so anything that was compostable, like orange rinds, eggshells, and even things like toilet paper rolls and the cardboard rolls inside toilet paper and paper towels, those are compostable. You can put those.
Oh.
They'll break down. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so anyway, she would take all that stuff, and then she had a bigger bin outside her garden shed.
Right.
And she would just take that kitchen thing and dump it, and then it's like it mixes itself, like it's one of those. You can buy a composter that does its own. It's a tumbler.
A tumbler.
So all you have to do is like rotate it every once in a while, and it flips it, and it just continues to compost. It's not a big deal. And now.
But doesn't it stink in your house?
No. Well, you don't
Like
leave
the
it
little...
in. No, you don't leave it in there for a number of days. The same way that you wouldn't leave eggshells sitting out anywhere in your house. I mean, it's just there to collect your stuff, and then once a day.
See,
you
I'm
dump it.
picturing bugs.
Oh wait! Oh,
flying
Michael just put a
around
picture.
it and
No, there's no bugs. And
like potato peelings and.
Yeah. You don't let them sit around. I'm just saying you save them in a little container, and you can put a lid on it and stuff. And then when it gets full, you take it and you dump it in your composter. You don't let it sit in your kitchen.
What the heck do you do in February?
You can still have your composting bin outside. You just dump it.
What if it's way in the corner of the yard?
You gotta shovel a path.
I tried composting years ago, and it didn't work. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, you tried composting?
I tried composting. The city at one point gave composters.
Did they?
I believe, or encouraged us heavily to compost.
See, here's the other thing.
And I didn't do it properly.
Like in Toronto, they take your kitchen waste.
Yes.
They don't throw it in the
They'll take it
in the dump.
No.
Because I think the stat is something like 50% of what's in our city dump would be compostable if we composted. And we don't have green bins yet, because that's a huge investment for a community to go green, to get bins where you would take up, the truck would come by and pick up not just your recyclables, but there'd also be a composting thing that they would take too.
See, what I found was that I think I probably had it for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I could still, I often wondered, how does this turn into something that I can use in the garden?
Like coffee
because I
grinds
could
and
always
stuff?
see the potato peel, 2 years later.
Well, it wasn't done yet.
So that's what I mean. How long
Maybe
does it
I don't think
take?
you were turning it enough. I don't know, Luann.
There was no turner thing on it.
Then you
I
actually
just
had
was
to
tossing
No,
stuff
you
in
can't
there.
do that. You can't just keep leveling it. You got to mix it. You got to mix it.
Well, now you tell me. Thanks, Tim.
Well, I should maybe. Anyway, I'm not the pro on composting. You know who is? My friends at Clean North.
Yes.
Abby and Josh.
Call them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they'd be happy to help you figure that out.
And they actually have composters for sale too, and they can tell you all about it. So anyway, happy composting day.
Happy composting day. Happy garbage day.
Happy
right?
Garbage day. It is garbage day in my neighborhood.
Yeah, mine too.
Do you put your garbage out every week?
Yes.
I do not.
No?
Well,
We only have one bag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't. I have a.
We don't do the recycling every week.
No,
because there's only two of us.
See, don't do that. It makes the truck stop, and it's not good for carbon emissions and stuff, making a truck start and stop at every house. If you only have a little bit of recycling in the bottom of the bin, leave it till it's full.
Yeah.
Same thing with my garbage pails. I'm all alone. Keith is away, so it takes me a long time to fill up a garbage pail. So I don't put it out unless it's sitting outside. It's in a garbage pail. It's in a bag. It's in a pail. It doesn't stink. Leave it.
Yeah.
Don't make the truck stop if it doesn't need to.
So there, composting
I'm helping the environment.
You're helping.
Yeah.
You're helping.
What do you got to tell me?
You know what? Lamar Odom, remember him?
This guy.
Yeah.
Is he a sports guy?
Yeah. Basketball player, married Khloe Kardashian for a minute. Was found unresponsive in a brothel in Las Vegas. Very well known to have been addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
His drug of choice was cocaine. He wrote a book, and it's called Darkness to Light.
Okay.
And he talks about how he had 12 seizures when they found him. After they found him, he had 12 seizures, 6 strokes, and his heart stopped twice on his way to the hospital. So this guy, really, the fact that he's alive is stunning. He'd been on a 4-day bender. But what's interesting is that he claims that the day that they found him, he hadn't done drugs.
Yeah, he says that he didn't do cocaine.
He didn't do cocaine, and he actually, in the book, says Dennis Hoff, who owns Love Ranch Brothel, tried to poison him. Interestingly, Mr. Hoff passed away in 1981 and can't fight for himself.
How long ago was that this happened to Mr. Odom?
4 years, 5 years.
The guy died in 81?
Pardon?
You said the guy died in 1981?
Yes. But that's, so the book, it's the first time he's actually claiming it publicly.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah,
So
he
he's
said,
been
I don't know
he's
what
been
he had
struggling
against me, but...
Wait a second, I have another question. Did I not also read that this guy's planning a comeback to basketball?
Oh, I don't know.
How old is he?
I haven't read that.
Oh, maybe I got the wrong guy.
But I saw him interviewed on Entertainment Tonight last night. He's doing all kinds of interviews. He's on ABC this morning. And he's stunned.
you mean he doesn't come across as highly intellectual?
No. Kevin Frazier's like, yep, 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 yep. And he goes, yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember putting that in my my book.
Oh, he doesn't remember putting it in his book?
So in the book,
I thought you were going to say,
Kevin
I remember
Frazier,
putting that in my system, in his book.
Yeah, Kevin Frazier is one of the hosts on Entertainment Tonight.
Okay.
And he says that they've had a relationship, he's known Odom since before he played basketball. So I don't know if they've been friends, but they've known each other for that long. Well, in the book, Odom calls him out by name and says Entertainment Tonight used me like a piece of meat or something like that. Oh. So Kevin asked him point blank, yeah, that might have been my writers just embellishing.
Oh, come off it.
It's your book, goof. Right? My writers might have been, but you know what? Good for Kevin. He
the
goes,
guy
yeah,
for calling him out?
Yeah, he says, hey, brother, what's this mean?
Hey,
and he read it.
Hey, brother.
Yeah.
So speaking of cocaine.
So he was humming, humming, humming.
American chemist John Pemberton began to advertise Coca-Cola on this date. Guess what year it was when American chemist John Pemberton began to advertise Coca-Cola?
Began advertising it. 1943.
1886.
What?
I'm not even kidding you.
Really?
Okay, so here's the scoop.
How did he make the bubbles way back then,
the
right?
guy, see, originally, do you know what Coca-Cola was originally? He was a civil there he is, Mr. Pemberton. He came back from the Civil War and he was injured and addicted to morphine.
Oy.
So what he was trying to do was create a substitute for morphine. So he combined cocoa leaves, which is cocaine, and cola nuts, which is caffeine.
Right.
So he combined cocaine and caffeine to try to replace morphine. Because he was addicted to morphine and he wanted something that was less addictive, I guess. Well, as it turns out, those things turned into a really lovely soft drink. That's what Coca-Cola comes from, cocaine and cola.
I had sort of heard
so
that.
then the recipe obviously
but now,
changed.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Now the recipe now is caffeine and sugar.
Yeah, caffeine and sugar.
And the cocoa leaves, I believe, still probably give us some of that darkness, right? But
yes.
Without they extract the cocaine. So that's what Coca-Cola was originally meant to be. It was supposed to be a replacement for morphine, and it turned into a soft drink. He sold the rights to the drink shortly before he died at the age of 55. So once again, can you imagine how?
Apparently, it's not good for you.
No.
He's 55.
1886, that's when they began marketing Coca-Cola.
Hey, did you ever do the test with Coke or Pepsi where you put a penny in a glass and then it just kind of eats away at the...
They've done that with a tooth too.
Oh, really?
They've taken a tooth and dropped a tooth in to watch what it does.
So that can't be good for you.
Well, of course it's not good for you. It's pure sugar.
Apparently in one can of Coke, there's 16 teaspoons of sugar.
Of sugar.
16! I don't eat that in like 4 months.
If you stop drinking soft drinks, you can lose weight just like that.
Yes, it's
All
true.
you gotta do is cut out soft drinks and you can lose weight, so there you go.
Tried something called water.
And exercise. Yeah, water. Water's so good.
Yeah.
Our water in Sault Ste. Marie is really delicious.
You think?
I really do.
I always boasted about it in my 30 years since I moved here. And most recently, I find there's a little Javexy smell sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
Oh, you know what?
And I drink tap water, so I still use it.
That's that natural process that they do now.
Yeah?
Yeah, but apparently it does, I don't know. I
still drink it.
I love it. My water. See, I live in Steelton.
Yes.
We got good water in Steelton.
I even buy
not like we got the East End down there.
I buy emergency water bottles.
Oh, do you?
In my cold room, and when
Yes.
I empty one, I put tap water in it. So it's not horrible, but every once in a while, there's that Javexy waft.
Very good.
So it reminds me to clean my toilet.
And saves your bottles.
Yes, saves my bottles.
See, it's a happy composting day. Happy green day.
Composting day.
Can't compost, but Emily is coming here from.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a completely French language elementary school on Mark Street, Ecole Rapide, and they've got some cool stuff going on and stuff you probably don't even know about this French language school. So she's on the show, and then hey, there's a really fun event coming up. It's chalk art.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but it's also like a food and beverage night
Excellent.
at the Stockhouse Grill in my neighborhood. So I invited them on the show too. And you have the news.
I do have the news coming up.
And KC Security is our sponsor all month. Thanks for joining us on Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back after this.
To a French, you're not qualified to teach
No kidding.
at a French language school.
Here we go. I'm with Emily and I'm learning so much. Emily, your last name is?
Poliquin.
Poliquin. See, people would say Poliquin, but Poliquin is so much nicer. Emily, what is your position at the Ecole Rapide? École Publique Ecole Rapide. Did I say that correctly?
Oui.
What is
École
your...
Publique Ecole Rapide.
Rapide. Rapide.
I'm the principal.
You're like 15 years old. How did you get to be? That's amazing. I had no idea. I'm sitting here talking to her all morning and I had no idea that you were the principal. That's so great. Have you been since the school opened 5 years ago?
No.
Okay.
I recently started in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
Very.
Do you love your job? I bet you do.
I absolutely do.
So, Emily and I were just talking off camera, and I didn't realize that when you're going to be a French language teacher or teaching in a French language school, that you actually go to a teacher's college that is French language.
Yes.
You grew up where?
I grew up in Dubreuilville.
Dubreuilville?
Yeah.
High school?
I did my high school in the Sault.
In Sault Ste. Marie?
Yeah.
And then post-secondary?
Post-secondary, I went to Sudbury, Laurentian University.
Laurentian University. And they actually offer...
Yeah, the French.
B.Ed in French language.
Yes.
And just as we were going to air, you were saying you can't actually get credentials.
Yeah, so if you don't actually go to a French language post-secondary, you are not qualified to teach at a French language school.
So French was your first language growing up?
Yes.
Okay. But your English is excellent. So when did you start learning English?
In grade 4.
Which is the same as what you do now with at the school where you're the principal.
Yes.
So just for people who don't realize where we're talking about, there was a school called St. Mark's on Hugo Street in Sault Ste. Marie, and it's been retrofitted now because St. Mark's was an open concept school.
Yes.
So when the French board took over, they changed the inside a little bit or what?
Yes, so we closed off all the classrooms.
Okay.
They are not open concept anymore, except for a library that's still kind of open.
Right.
But yeah.
Now, when you first opened, I remember that you had quite a small enrollment in your very first year.
Yes. We had about 20 students
Isn't
our
that-
first year.
That's wild. That must have been so funny to go into a whole school with just 20 children in it.
Yes.
But you have now like 5 times that.
Yes, we
Amy.
have, in September, we have about 108 so far.
In 5 years, that's phenomenal. Now, so let's talk about the philosophy of the school. What? Tell me about the sort of how you approach education at Ecole Rapide.
At Ecole Rapide, we are a French language school. We use the positive reinforcement behavior system.
Yes.
This is used.
So if students do good things,
Yes.
they get rewarded for it.
Yeah, so we target 3 values.
Okay.
Respect, responsibility, and pride in our heritage.
Okay.
How it works is that we give coupons when the students are exhibiting the behaviors that we teach them, we remind them of.
So when they model good behavior and when they model those sort of the ethics, right?
Yes, absolutely. We reward them with coupons.
Okay.
And they can exchange their coupons weekly with items in our school store.
No way, like spiritware and stuff like that?
It
or
could be,
what?
yeah, we have spiritware, we have a lot of stuff from Dollarama.
Okay, so they can actually get themselves little prizes
Yeah.
and stuff for good behavior. That's fantastic.
We have students that save coupons to buy gifts for their siblings.
No.
I've had a student in kindergarten that bought a gift for Mother's Day.
Nice.
So it's very good.
Okay, and now the rapport between the students, I would imagine, with 98 now going to over 100 students, they must all know each other.
Yes, because we're a very small school, we can offer smaller class size,
Right.
which leads to more individual attention. And we do know every student by name.
By name. And then I was saying, what about when it comes down to sports and stuff, and you have teams? It could get a little tricky when you don't have a lot of students, but you say that they all interact.
So even though we are a small school, we're very active.
Yeah.
We offer a variety of opportunities based on the students' interests. So we have a variety of clubs. We have the creative club that the students can learn things like knitting.
Oh, okay, so are like arts, crafts, that kind of stuff.
Yes, so
right?
we do have a hockey team.
You do?
It consists of a lot of younger students because that's where our numbers are at the moment.
You said no, grade 3 is a very busy, is probably your largest grade, yes?
Yes.
But when you say they play with like grade 5s and stuff, and they'll actually play on some sports teams with older kids, which makes them really excited.
Yes,
must
they
feel
absolutely love
they
it.
play with the big kids.
Yeah, they absolutely love it.
Now, and what about, the parent involvement at your school is quite remarkable, isn't it?
Yes, our parents committee is very dedicated. They've raised a lot of money for our school in the past 5 years through activities
And fundraising. So with school equipment, we all know that it's always difficult. A lot of the schools these days actually have to raise their own money if they want equipment in their schoolyards, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's just the way that it goes. It's a reality of the public education system. Nowadays, both education systems have to do fundraising to be able to afford these things. $25,000 loan, you said the school took out.
Yes.
To buy the equipment, and the parents,
they fundraised it all in just 5 years.
Paid
So
off.
We are done paying the play structure. We are now
Amazing.
working towards the JKSK yard.
wow, JKSK yard, they have a separate little area to play.
Yes.
So you are JK right to grade 8. Okay, and all of the instruction is in the French language.
Yes, all our communication is in French, but we do accommodate.
Yeah, so you said just like you started learning English in grade 4, so do the students at Ecole Rapide.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's so interesting that, like, I started learning French in grade 4, you started learning English in grade 4. Now, the other thing that's really interesting that I did not know, and that I think a lot of people don't realize, if I don't speak French in my house, and French is not our first language, but I have a child who's ready for JK, I can come and talk to you and I can get my child in your school?
Yes, you can.
How does that work then? You said the little kids, when they come in kindergarten, tell me how you describe them.
When they come in kindergarten, they're little sponges.
Little sponges.
Usually by December, they're pretty fluent.
Imagine that. From September to December, in JK or SK,
Yeah.
they can learn the language. By December, they're fluent.
Yeah. And they
blows me away.
They understand fully by December, and by the end of the year, definitely they can speak it.
And then they can go home and teach their parents, so that you can use French in the household as well.
Yeah.
And your staff, how many staff do you have on at the school?
We have about 8 teachers at the moment.
Oh, okay, great. Now, so I guess we want to talk about, you just had an open house recently.
Yes.
Went very well.
Yes, it did.
You said you were so busy.
Yeah, we were very busy. We raised about $1,200. Yes.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Is that going to go towards the JKSK?
This will go towards the JKSK yard.
Fantastic. So I guess the point of this is that you are a little known commodity probably still in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes.
And you would welcome anyone to come and talk to you about enrolling their children?
So what happens is if your child had a parent or a grandparent that went to a French language school, you can register them automatically to the French language school.
You're in. Grandfathered in, so to speak.
Exactly. If you don't meet that criteria, you can still, we will accommodate. You can come and speak with me. Yeah. What we do is we do an admissions committee.
Okay.
This committee is just to confirm that you will support your child in the French language education, and that you will support with their learning, and that the communication will be in French.
And Emily, the other benefit we must acknowledge is that we are a bilingual country, and so if your children are learning French language, their job opportunities in the future are going to be multiplied.
Yes.
So
it's incredible.
It is, and pride in the heritage too.
Yes.
What a pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
So if you want more information about having your child registered at how do I say this? École. How do I say the first part?
École publique.
École publique.
École Rapide.
There you go. Just go and see Emily. Give her a call, and your child will benefit. And I love the idea of the smaller community too, knowing everybody's names. Where everybody knows your name, ton nom, okay? Votre nom. How am I doing? Okay.
Very good.
Très bien, merci.
You get your billet.
I get a coupon. Okay. We'll be right back with Luann. She's bilingual too. Did you know that?
She actually said good luck in French when I started.
Bonne chance, she said, yes. Yeah. Okay, we'll be back with the lovely other French-speaking lady, bilingue. Okay, after this. Look at me showing off. We'll see you in a minute.
Thousands of people across the country take part in the Canadian Cancer Society's Relay for Life. So join the Relay for Life, and together, let's make a difference.
Hey Mel, did you know that Algoma University has campuses in Brampton and Timmins?
Really? Did you know that if you're at Algoma University, you're only 14 minutes and 16 seconds away from Maitland Fort Lincoln?
Oh wow, closer than you think.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Listen to them. Children of the night.
Alive! It's alive!
Welcome to the Machine Shop, our historic venue and gathering place for friends and family. Built in 1899 on the site of a Northwest Company trading post. Today we are a go-to venue hosting many expos, concerts, weddings, and more. While you're here, choose one of our dining experiences. Enjoy a quiet dinner at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar, watch a game and try wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room, or treat yourself every day to gelato and local coffee at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop, visit machineshopinc.ca.
forgot, Emily and I were talking about the clubs that they have. She mentioned that they have hockey and they have a robotics club, for, like state of the art because they're a newer school, right?
Right.
But here's what's really cool. They have a chess club. Are you ready for this? They have a kindergarten student who's in their chess club who is going on to the provincial championships for chess. Kindergarten.
He's in kindergarten.
Love it.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
I hope she comes back.
I want to get that little kindergarten kid on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I love
maybe
her
you might
accent,
have,
too.
But you probably have to do the interview
Yeah, I
because
could do
you may have
that.
to be in French and then I can translate.
Yeah, then you could translate.
That'd be funny.
I could say, he's calling you a goofball.
No, I would never call it. Oh, the child is saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
So,
Yeah.
the Queen of Soul,
Aretha Franklin.
right, received a posthumous honor yesterday. She got a special citation at the 2019 Pulitzer Prize for Arts, Drama, and Music.
Hey.
And Jennifer Hudson came
Did she
and
sing?
had an unannounced performance
Man.
of Amazing Grace.
No! Did you
tell
see
you,
it?
I just watched it.
I want to see it.
Like goosebumps. It's just
Where- is it on
absolutely
YouTube or what?
phenomenal.
Where'd you see it?
On Entertainment Tonight
I gotta
Canada's
watch
website.
it. I love Jennifer Hudson.
She is phenomenal.
Yep.
And just she's so in love with Aretha Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine how nervous that would make one. Right? The Queen of Soul.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you something.
But Jennifer
She
Hudson
hit
sang
it.
at her funeral too.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Wild.
Apparently Aretha really liked her.
I told you the story about the Wills, right? Yeah, I told that story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
she had
the
three
kids.
of them, and one of them was under her couch cushions. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hey, remember on the show we had that bucket lister. Michelle came on the show talking about the climbing the ice wall at Searchmont as her bucket list challenge. She was on the
Okay.
show early this week. Are you ever interested in climbing mountains?
I did ice climbing actually on TV years ago.
Did
Yeah.
you really?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Okay, would you ever consider like going to like a mountain and climbing?
No.
Do you know that right now, don't go to Mount Everest. Cancel your plans, Luann.
Awful.
Cancel your plans. I know that you wanted to go. Don't climb Mount Everest. Okay, so they have the highest death toll since 2015. Already, just since January, 11 people have been killed trying to reach the peak at Mount Everest.
And you know why?
Inexperienced climbers.
And
Of the dead people climbing over the dead people.
overcrowding.
Yeah, overcrowding. So here's what's happening. You don't get tested. All you have to have is a doctor's note and $11,000.
Yeah.
And you get a permit. And the Nepalese government? Nepalese government doesn't really care about...
it's money for them,
No,
right?
it's money. It's
They don't
$11,000.
care.
But the Sherpa community, there's a Sherpa who goes with every group,
Yes.
right? They are saying inexperienced climbers are showing up. People coming saying, well, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And they said Kilimanjaro is a walk compared to Everest. Everest goes at the height is 9,000 meters.
Oh.
Okay, so the overcrowding happens because there's one pass. It's called the death zone, where people look at the lineup of people. Luann.
Is that crazy?
There's only one rope, people. There's only, to get through this one pass, Luann,
Oh my
there's only
gosh.
one rope. So the delays, and here's the issue, is that you're at an altitude at that point. When you get to that point, you have only a number of hours that you've got to get to
Yes.
the peak, because otherwise you get pulmonary edema. Pulmonary edema or edema?
Edema.
Your lungs begin to fill with excess fluid. The clock is ticking. When you get to that height, you've got to finish the climb.
You have to have oxygen with you.
And these people are lined up and they're not making it in time, and that's why they're dying.
They're dying because they're standing in line waiting and they're running out of their oxygen.
It's taxing the limited oxygen supply.
Can you imagine?
I would be like sitting on the face of the person behind me. Stop breathing!
I'd be sucking on their face.
On their
trying
face.
to get
Get their oxygen out.
Wow.
I'm not going.
You know
I'm
what?
not going to
All that
Everest.
work to get up there, and what do? You just come back down.
I'm going to go to King Mountain instead. Or Robertson Cliffs.
I'm
I'll
going
go
to Woodpecker
Robertson
Peak
Cliffs.
in Espanola.
Woodpecker Peak? Is that a place?
Yes, Woodpecker Peak. We used to go sliding there.
I love it. Hey, you've got real news coming
Yes,
up.
I do. I have real news. And we have something interesting,
What?
some rumors floating around Sutherland, one of the call centers. So that's coming up right after this.
At 4:45,
5, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5 and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
At Mortgage Architects, we offer the Manulife One, which is an all-in-one line of credit, bank account, and mortgage. Pay down your debt as fast as you want and save thousands in interest while maintaining instant access to the equity in your home. To learn more, visit retiremymortgage.ca or contact Pam Jerling at 705-542-4399.
What is going on at Sutherland Global Services in Sault Ste. Marie? According to an anonymous source working at the call center, employees have been told the doors to the building will be locked as of Friday at midnight. The source indicates that most employees have been told the company is reverting to a work-at-home program. The source also says that black mold was found in the building on Friday. ONNtv will continue to seek official confirmation from Sutherland. This being Accessibility Week, the City of Sault Ste. Marie is consulting with the public and persons with disabilities to determine priorities for barrier removal, multi-year accessibility plans, and to receive feedback on accessible transit services, specifically replacement, renovation, and design of bus stops and shelters. A public input session will be held on Friday, May 31st from noon until 3 in the Russ Ramsey Boardroom. That's at the Civic Center. Indigenous Services Minister Seamus O'Regan is being urged to ensure a long-awaited visit to an Ontario First Nation is substantive and not a pre-election photo op. O'Regan is set to visit Grassy Narrows First Nations today, a community poisoned by mercury after industrial waste was dumped in the English Wabigoon River system, causing symptoms in residents including impaired peripheral vision, hearing, speech, and thinking. Help for the community seemed to be on the way when the federal government promised a specialized treatment facility on the reserve back in November of 2017, and a feasibility study was produced last fall outlining costs and design ideas. But Grassy Narrows Chief Rudy Turtle has said there's been little action on the project since then. The federal government has issued a media advisory ahead of O'Regan's visit, indicating it plans to sign a memorandum of agreement with the community, a document that is not legally binding. The Senate has passed a Liberal government bill expanding the scope of background checks on those who want to acquire guns. Questions about an applicant's history will cover their entire lifetime now instead of just the 5 years immediately preceding the license application. The bill also forces gun retailers to keep records of firearms inventory and sales and requires the purchaser of a hunting rifle or shotgun to present a firearms license, while the seller will have to ensure its validity. The legislation has been criticized by gun control advocates as too weak, while some firearms owners have called the bill an attempt to revive the long gun registry the Conservatives ended in 2012. Air Canada says airport systems, check-in and call centers are beginning to come back online after an outage affected flights throughout the country. Spokesperson Peter Fitzpatrick says the airline still expects flight delays and cancellations, but it is trying to accommodate as many customers as possible. He adds some affected customers will be put on flights today. Toronto Pearson International Airport, as well as the airports in Calgary and Vancouver, say they are working to support Air Canada. At the peak of the system-wide outage, the Toronto Airport's website showed delays of more than 24 Air Canada flights. Fitzpatrick says customers should check their flight status on their local airport websites or sites like flightaware.com. If elected Prime Minister, Conservative leader Andrew Scheer says he would put an end to illegal border crossings in Canada. Scheer included that as one of several general commitments outlined in his speech in Toronto yesterday, all part of a series of policy announcements ahead of the fall federal election. Scheer said he would close a loophole in the Safe Third Country Agreement between Canada and the United States that has allowed asylum seekers who slip into the country by avoiding border checkpoints to make refugee claims that would be automatically rejected at official crossings. Scheer told the crowd he believes Canadians have lost confidence in the fairness of the immigration system thanks to the influx of irregular migrants. Since the beginning of 2017, over 43,000 asylum seekers have arrived in Canada through unofficial entry points.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true. With over 45 years of experience, All Ontario Well Drilling offers hydrofracking and all well drilling services. Call 705-575-8088 or 705-257-9495.
So I'm sure you've heard by now that Adam Levine is leaving The Voice.
I did hear that.
He has his own show he's just announced.
Wait, shut up. What a little weasel. What a little weasel.
Yes, sir. It's called Songland.
Did you know that Kelly Clarkson didn't even know until she got an email from him the night before that he made the announcement?
Really?
They didn't know his cast members did not know that he was leaving until the day before he made the announcement, and he has a show. Tell me.
That's not respectful.
What's his show?
It's called Songland, and it's going to feature professional artists, and they're going to talk about how they went about writing songs.
Okay.
And then Adam Levine isn't going to be on the show at all, apparently. He's going to be more behind the scenes.
Oh, he's a producer,
Yes.
Oh.
And so he's going to set people up who write songs.
Okay.
We're going to go through the process with them, and then he's going to set them up with producers to actually
record the songs?
Record their songs.
Wait, what is that picture we're seeing?
That's Songland.
But wait a second, he's already been working on it? They already have some stuff in the can?
Mm-hmm.
They must have known about that.
Yeah, some people did.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder, though, if his cast mates knew.
About that show?
Yeah.
Who knows? They didn't say anything about that. None of them, nobody talked about his new project.
No.
What they said was, well, he has a young family. We understand that he's done 8 years, 16 seasons, and that he has other things. He wants to get back to recording. It's a busy schedule, and he's put his time in, but now here he is with a new show.
And apparently there's no viewer voting on this show coming up.
He didn't he actually was pretty vocal about, or his representative his manager was vocal about how much he didn't like the changes that have gone on, particularly in this season, in the way that they're voting and the way that they pit the artists against each other. This time around, they made Adam would have to pick somebody from his team to go head to head with somebody from somebody else's team. He said it was like a schoolyard pick, like
Oh, really?
Red Rover sent somebody over, kind of, and they have to compete that way.
I was always left behind.
He didn't like the head-to-head competitions.
No, eh?
No. So normally he would take 2 of his teammates. They would compete, and then he would have to decide which artist would go through, who had the most potential to carry on with a career. It was up to him to decide between he whittled his team down.
So
this was.
Would you watch this new one?
Songwriters writing a song, do they perform the song too? So they're singer-songwriters, or is it just a song and they provide an artist for them? I don't know.
I don't know.
If it were a singer-songwriter, I guess I might watch. If it's just a songwriter...
Like, it takes you through the process of writing a song and how it happens for different people in different ways.
I don't think it would really appeal to me.
From what I gather.
I don't think it would really appeal to me.
But then, when I was reading this quickly, it said people like John Legend are going to be on the show. So John Legend's going to John Legend's going to talk about how he writes a song. But then he doesn't need producers to set him up for a release. He's got his own people. So I'm not quite clear on that.
And Adam Levine is not Maroon 5.
I'm sorry. It says famous guest artists.
Oh, guest artists. Maroon 5 is done, huh?
Are they?
Aren't they? I thought he left Maroon 5 too. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Adam Levine, can you call me, please? There's a lot of questions I have for you.
Adam.
Oh, guess what happened to me yesterday?
What?
Okay.
I hope it was good.
You know Randy Rainbow? Randy Rainbow is the guy on Twitter, and he does all the funny videos about Donald Trump and stuff. And he's a gay guy, and he's like really no. I've shown you his videos. No, he wears the pink eyeglasses.
Yes.
He's
hilarious.
There he is. There's Randy.
He's so funny.
So he takes popular songs, changes the lyrics. He's really a musical theater guy. He'll change like Broadway songs and write lyrics. He's done a couple great ones. He does like an Ariana Grande spoof on his most recent one. And he totally takes the mickey out of Donald Trump and all the. Anyway, he put a new video out, and yesterday I was sitting. Over at Fratelli's on the patio in the sunshine, and I'm watching my Twitter account, and there's Randy Rainbow's newest music video, and I'm watching it, and I literally spit out my water across the table. I did a spit take all alone on the patio. So funny. So I tweeted to him, when I grow up, I want to be Randy Rainbow or marry him. And then I said, my Aunt Laura, because that's the joke that he does that made me spit, I said, I did a spit take all alone on the patio. Randy Rainbow liked my tweet.
Shush. You are so connected.
I am. Wow. We're like this. This is
Apparently.
Randy. I have my legs crossed. Hey, we have an interview for Relay for Life coming up. Unfortunately, their guest didn't make it in today, so I'm going to rebroadcast an episode that we did with Alyssa Garofalo, who's one of the organizers of Relay for Life. Watch the interview, but bear in mind that every time she says we talk about the yard, it's not happening at the yard, it's happening at Cora. But enjoy the interview and support Relay for Life right after this.
Price cuts aren't deep enough. Mio's Furniture Fashions brings you
massive May markdowns.
To clear our floors and save you more, Mio's takes markdowns that aren't just big. They're massive. From living rooms to dining rooms, from bedrooms to mattresses, these are some of the biggest discounts we've ever offered at Mio's. Even if you weren't thinking of buying new furniture at all, this is one sale you can't afford to miss. These are some of the biggest furniture deals you'll ever see at Mio's, and they're all here now during our
massive May markdowns.
Only at Mio's Furniture Fashions. Where else?
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride, Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Welcome back, and welcome back to you, Alyssa. Nice to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Alyssa Garofalo Lake here on behalf of the Relay for Life.
Yes.
Canadian Cancer Society.
You've got it.
Do you know how many years it's been going on in Sault Ste. Marie? Do you have it?
19.
Really?
Yes.
I would say to Luann, because Luann and I, we just started with ONNtv just before last year's Relay for Life, and it was one of the first events we did as a team.
I remember that.
And you know, I'd never been.
Really?
I know I had. Well, that's not true. I performed at the Relay for Life a couple times, but I never was really there for all of that opening ceremony stuff. It's really cool.
It is.
Survivors Walk. And then the walk for the memory of the ones we've lost, right?
Yeah, we have our luminary ceremony.
And this year, for the relay, you're going to have way more activities.
Absolutely.
Because you're in a new location.
Yes.
At?
The yard.
The yard behind the machine shop?
Yes.
Okay. And that's allowing you, because there's less restrictions for you, municipally speaking,
yes,
you can do way more stuff.
Oh yeah, we're going to have bonfires, we're having massive team activities. We're actually looking at having sort of like a midnight viewing of an 80s classic. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
And the date for the actual Relay for Life walk is?
June 7th.
June the 7th, okay. And it's an 80s theme.
Yes.
Which is why we're kicking things off with a dance party.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you said it to me was, it's sort of just a precursor, like to get the Sioux warmed up.
Yeah, the 80s, I mean, that is so much fun, right?
What a fun
Who doesn't have fun with the 80s?
Era, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Were you even around in the 80s?
Not just yet. No, I missed out a little bit.
No,
90s child.
I was a 60s, 70s kid, but so I could really appreciate the 80s because I was in my 20s. That's a good time to be in the, you know.
So you must have had some great hair.
I think I might have had a perm at one time.
Okay.
And I definitely did a lot of the pastels. What was that? There was Don Johnson, Miami Vice.
Oh, okay.
I was very, very Miami Vice dictated my fashion.
I've seen pictures.
I had shoulder pads out to here like Joan Crawford and bleached blonde hair. Yeah. So the 80s, why you love it? Why? Because you weren't even around for it. Why do you love it?
I've heard good things.
You've heard good things.
I grew up, my family always had the records going, and my dad was big in the 80s music.
Great music.
So, I mean,
Is your father a musician by any chance?
Yes, he is.
Is he really?
Yeah.
And so did he play in bands in the 80s or stuff? Or?
Yeah, he had a band. My whole family is very musical. My husband's family is very musical. So it's just the 80s, I mean, to me, there's nothing more fun than
Michael
the 80s.
Jackson, I mean, all that, and disco coming out. Disco was just ending. Early 80s, there was still disco. Oh, they just put a poster up.
Oh,
so let's talk about the actual dance party. It's a video dance party.
It is. So we're going to have 80s music videos playing the entire time. We're going to have a green screen, so hopefully some 80s props. So come prepared, dressed in your finest with, like I said, the shoulder pads.
The shoulder pads and the hair and the color scheme. And leg warmers and all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
The spandex and bright. Oh, yes. Lots of day glow colors in the 80s too, right?
Those neon bright colors.
Oh, that reminds me, that's one of the fun things you're doing. You're doing a graffiti wall.
Yes, we are. So, I mean, kids are always looking for something to keep them busy. And for us, this is an opportunity for them to come, really get involved and splash that neon paint everywhere.
Right.
And then we'll bring that to Relay for Life so that we have that, I guess, reminder of the 80s dance, bring that with us, and people can see their artwork.
They can see their artwork, and they can see all the kids' messages and stuff.
Exactly.
And that's always cute little handprints and drawings and stuff. And I was telling you, if you do this, make sure you get blacklight, because when you use blacklight on that day glow paint, it looks so cool. I can imagine that at night for the walk.
It'll be amazing.
I know. And so you're talking about the kids. This is a family event, total family. And that's why it starts early.
Yeah, 5 until 8, and it's really for all ages. I'm bringing my almost 2-year-old.
You're gonna dress him up?
I am definitely dressing him up. Yes.
80s theme?
Yeah, he's got his high top and his leopard print.
No kidding.
We're going very Ferris Bueller with this.
And so there's also you've got so much stuff going on.
We do.
Let's talk about the date first of all. It's this Saturday.
Yes, it is, May 4th.
At the machine shop. I was saying, you could just go for the video dance party, spend the night at the machine shop, and be there for the pancake breakfast the next morning.
The machine shop is wonderful.
They are great, the Porco family. When we just had Melissa on.
Oh, really?
Talking about Arch. Because they're there on the Sunday for the pancake breakfast. And so Relay for Life, it's all cancer related, basically. Arch isn't all about cancer, but Relay for Life certainly is raising money for cancer research.
Yes. Yeah, so it goes to the most promising cancer research across Canada because we realize that life is bigger than cancer, and we want to make sure that research is the very best, and that is where donor dollars are focused.
You said there's a lot of peer research that's done to decide where the dollars are best spent in research.
It is a huge peer review process that looks at all of the studies that are submitted, and they see what is most promising, where those donor dollars are going to be most effective.
Right.
And it does go back to that. And a lot of that comes back here to the Sault for clinical trials.
Because we do have, and we're going to be talking to Dr. Spatafora in a couple of weeks. She's coming on the show to talk about exactly what goes on here at the Sault area hospitals for those clinical trials. We're very fortunate. We should be honored in Sault Ste. Marie to actually be one of the hospitals that runs these trials and does the research.
I mean, there aren't that many that really have them, and so we're lucky here in the Sault to have Dr. Spatafora.
Well, we're lucky to have people like you who put on these great fun events to help raise money.
This is going to be exciting.
Minimum $5 donation at the door. That's nothing for a party like this. What do you get for your $5? Let's go through the list.
So we're going to have, like I said, the photo green screen. We have the 80s dance. We're going to have the glow paint graffiti wall. We have face painting. We have
face painting. That's Taylor's Fancy Faces.
Yes.
She'll be there from 5:30 until 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have the meet and greet with Princess Ariel because she is the only 80s princess, which I thought was interesting. I thought that was pretty cool.
There's Disney Princess Ariel.
Disney Princess.
She'll be there only for an hour from 6 to 7. So bring the little ones to meet Princess Ariel.
So we should
food.
Oh, hot dogs, chips, water.
Now this is first come first serve, and it's one per person, but it's free. So for your donation, you're also going to get fed. All right. And Sudan Hapkido, the Cornacchios, we featured them on the show.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
They are doing an obstacle course, I believe, for all ages. They're doing demonstrations.
Martial arts.
Yeah, so it's think a little bit of the Karate Kid, right? So the 80s element again.
You've really gotten clever with this, and makeovers.
Oh, yeah, the Sault College hairstyling program. You're going to get the crimp and the teasing going.
Oh, man, all the teasing for sure and the crimping. I remember all of that stuff. And then for, would there be makeup too, do you think? Makeovers is just hair?
Just hair.
So do your own makeup at home. Go 80s, go big. Don't stay home. come out. Saturday, May the 4th, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Machine Shop, 80s Video Dance Party, all in support of the Relay for Life and the Canadian Cancer Society.
It'll be so much fun.
It will. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much.
We'll be seeing you out and around at all these great events coming up. And we'll be right back to say goodbye with Luann after this.
I wanna go.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today. To help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument, visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Just one more reminder that the Relay for Life has been relocated. It is no longer happening at the yard due to unforeseen circumstances. They are relocating to Cora, to the track at Cora Collegiate. So there you go.
So please go out and support them. And also, thank you for your support, KC Security, sponsoring our morning show for the month. We certainly appreciate it. Always good to see the guys when they pop in. When I drive into the parking lot to work, I'm the first one here. And every once in a while, they're sitting in the parking lot. And I just feel
sure you're okay.
I just feel like, you know what? Thanks,
You feel
guys.
secure?
I do.
Hey, and tomorrow is Bump Slide Thursday. It's my last show of the week because I'm off to Sudbury to do a gala performance. You'll miss me, but I'll see you tomorrow.